Southlake Dragons, led by their head coach, Bruce Brady. We thank you for attending today's game. The students, staff, and administration of both schools encourage you to support your team and respect your opponent. We would like to congratulate the teams and coaches on their play today. Their hard work and effort commands everyone's respect. Fans, let's join together in good sportsmanship to make this a memorable event for these young competitors. Spectators are reminded to show respect for your school and your community while attending athletic events. Be positive in your actions in today's contest. Also, for your safety, we remind you to stay out in the field and to watch for stray balls and sticks during warm-ups and gameplay. Thank you for your cooperation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your Highland Park Scout. Ladies and gentlemen, in honor of our great country, please remove your hats and rise for the playing of our national anthem. Starting for Highland Park today, between the pipes, number 18, Jacob Lisa. Protecting the house are post defenders number 10, J.D. Pierce, number 36, Stafford Thomason, and number 34, Mason Carvall. In the midfield, we have number 3, Henry Highlander, number 19, Blake Sontag, and number 21, Max Oaks. And down low, blistering the cage or attackman, number 30, Warner Benz, number 4, Beckett Farrell, and number 24, Ben Coates. Your Highland Park varsity goals team is led by head coach Spencer Parks, assistant coaches Matt Reese, Nathan Alverde, and J.C. Higginbotham. And captains number 3, Henry Liner, number 9, Hayes Hammock, number 10, J.D. Pierce, and number 16, Blake Jackson. Shot by number 30, over the bench, just wide. Possession goes to Southlake. Shot and goal by number 21, Max Close. Southlake win early, possession Highland Park. Shot by number 4, Beckett Farrell. Southlake wins the run out. Take possession. Great shot from out far by number 19, late Sontag. Goal, Highland Park. Possession Southlake. Shot by number 7, Paradiso, saved by Southlake. saved by number 18, Jacob Musa. Hannah Parker clear. Shot by Becky Cleo. Just wide. Possession Southlake. Shot by Southlake. Saved by Jacob Musa. Great shot by number 4, Rebecca Carroll. Goal, Highland Park. Taking the face off our Highland Park, number 13, Cedric Gomez. For Southlake, number 6, Dylan. Possession Highland Park. Great shot by number 30, Warren Giddens. Goal, Highland Park. Great shot for Highland Park, number 37, Colter. For Southlake, number 6, Dylan. Possession Southlake. Possession Southlake. Out of bounds on Southlake, possession will go to Highlander. Arvizo with a good clear. by Southlake, will retain possession. Shot and goal by number 10, Austin Allen. Possession Southlake. Shot wide by Southlake. Beat the ball. And at the end of the first quarter, your score is Highland Park 5, Southlake 1. Highland Park lacrosse is proudly powered by its title sponsor, Mrs. Bank. Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912. Thank you, Mrs. Bank, for your continued sponsorship of HG Athletics. Let's go, Scots! We also want to thank the following Champions Club supporters: JSX, Coach Homes, Sewell Automotive, Macaulay Bonds, Mandalay Hospitality, Benchmark Title, Zilke Homes, First Horizon, All Repairs Wealth Management, Brooker Law, Jones Allen and Peatway, Meadows Collier, Howard Parks, Selling Shippers, and the Clay Cooley Auto Group. Finally, on behalf of the entire Highland Park lacrosse program, thank you to all our fans that came out to support the Scots. We hope you can join us for the entire season. We also thank our LAX girls for their spirit and support. Taking the face off the Scots, number 13, Sebby Gomez. And for Southlake, number 6, Dylan Purdue. Possession Southlake. Take away number 34, Mason Harbaugh. Shot by Warren and saved by number 2, Charlie Lotto. Shot by Southlake goes wide, they'll keep possession. Saved by number 18, Jacob Musso. And mark the clear. Shot by number 4, Darryl. Goal, Highlander. Possession Southlake. Moving swing on Southlake, Highlander with the ball. Southlake, but big possession. Check by number 10, J.D. Pierce. Number 4, Rebecca Farrell, saved by Southlake. Rebecca Farrell goes wide, and Harvey with the run out, and we're keeping possession. Good shot by number 21, Maxwell, so it's just wide. Southlake with the ball. Good deep from number 14, Luke White. Southlake with the goal. The face up out for Highland Park number 13, Seti Gomez. And for Southlake, number 6, Dylan Rudy. Southlake moves wide, and keep the ball. Shot by number 10, saved by Jacob Musa. And from the break. Great shot by number 44, Lawson Axon. Goal, Highland Park. Shot by the releases are all required. Southlake with the lead. Good defensive possession by Highlander. Maybe Pierce to clear. Brings saved by number 18, Jacob Russo. Your score at halftime, Highland Park 7, Southlake 2. Again, Highland Park Lacrosse is proudly powered by this bank, now offering exclusive private client products and services to those who qualify. Thank you, this bank, for your continued sponsorship of HG Athletics. Go Scots! We couldn't run the entire Highland Park Lacrosse program without these Champions Club supporters. The Lucy family, the Henry family, the Jeff Brown family, the Cleary family, the Crosland family, the Andy Harris family, the Brainerd family, the Pentecost family, the Thompson family, the Jillian family, the Foster family, the Farrell family, the Sylvan family, the White family, the Benz family, the Doolin family, the Geary family, the Powers family, the Bogues family, the Rudder family, the Faria family, the Owens family, the Liner family, the Becker family, the Mason family, the Masadi family, the Murphy family, the John Paul and Christine Merritt family, the Hammer family, and the Susan and Bob Jeanette family. Our communicating for Hyde Park. Immediately after this game, the varsity blue team will take on Southlake Varsity. On senior night, varsity blue plays McKinney now next Monday at 7 p.m. The varsity gold plays tomorrow at 7 p.m. against Plano East here at Highlander. And just a little social media reminder. You can't make a game in person. All varsity games are streamed via Game On Sports. Also, don't forget to follow Hyde Park Lacrosse on Instagram at HDLAX Official, on Twitter at HDLAX, and finally on Facebook at Hyde Park Lacrosse.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second half of Southlake versus Highland Park at Highlander Stadium. My name is Josh Zelke. Apologize for the late start on the announcing on the broadcast here. A little thing called work got caught up in the way today. But here now, and certainly looking forward to seeing the second half of the Dragons versus Highlanders. This is the third game of the week for Highland Park, able to win their first game on Tuesday against Rockwall. Dropped a tough game, 9-8 against Jesuit B team yesterday. Had a commanding lead at halftime and tried to hold on and was unable to. Good learning experience for the boys. And good to see that they've come back today and come out with some energy and been playing well. So we are about to start with the second half. Face-off off, and that's Highland Park with the ground ball. That is Carter Johnston there. Here's Parker Vizo bringing it into the front field. Henry Leinart over to Blake Sontag, back to Henry. Blake's waiting for his third line mate coming in, and that is Mac Mason, 25. Slide comes, Blake dodges past it. Beckett moving up the right side, finds an open Benjamin Coates for the score. Scotty's coming out strong in the second half. With a good offensive set there, Blake Sontag was able to move it down the right alley, beating the double team, beating the slide, then deftly moving it to Beckett Farrell, who pushed it up the right side there, and found the open man Benjamin Coates on the crease, who patiently worked it in and put it past the goalkeeper. False start there on Southlake. That's a Highland Park face-off win. Colton Brendel with that face-off win. Colton's been seeing some more action as of late. Here's Anthony Dewhurst, 15, with the ball at the top. Dodging down the left-hand side, rolls back, finds Parker. Parker getting to play a little bit of offense here. There, he's going to come off. Beckett Farrell moving it through X, looking to find somebody. Good job by Southlake, closing down the passing lanes. Southlake doing a good job with their help slides. Nathan Evans, number 17 in the ball game for the Highland Park Scots. Here's Warner Benz working on the right side and puts it in the top corner. 8-2 unassisted, Warner Benz. Number 13, Sebi Gomez out to take the face. Your short side winger is Addison. And on the far side, we've got, trying to see that jersey, number 11, Carter Johnson. Loose ball picked up by the Dragons. Dragons will have it onto the offensive side of the field for the first time today. .55 seconds to go in the clock. Dragons just now getting into their offensive set. The slide comes, pass into the middle. Unable to be corralled there by either team. Picked up by number 14, Luke White, who finds the skip pass, roll back to the right side. Shot goes wide, and that was a great run out by J.D. Pierce. Able to leg that one and use his speed to get past the Southlake attackman and win the ball back for the Scots. Mason Carbajal working it up with the left-hand side, rolling back patiently. Lawson Addison in the midfield. Was looking for Parker. Just overshot him a little bit. The Southlake Dragons were in a 10-man ride. That means the goalie was out of the cage and was guarding a man. So passing lanes are shut down there. Tighter windows. Highland Park Scots unable to successfully clear the ball. Step down, left hand, bounce shot. And it's good.
27, Christian Wolf. Scored, goal, Southlake.
In goal here for the Highland Park Scots is number 18, Jacob Musa. Henry Leinart out here on the short side wing. And Colton Brendel out to take the face-off. 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Colton looking to make this a ground ball. A good counter there. Lost the clamp, but did a good job on the counter. Stays after it and wins the ground ball. So good job there by Colton. Ball is down. Ben Coates giving a ride over to Beckett Farrell, who gives the Southlake player a whack on the way past him. The Dragons are back in business on offense. Christian Wolf, number 27. Southlake is notorious for having these black jerseys with dark green numbers. Very tough to pick up these numbers, so we'll call out the Southlake boys when we can, but difficult when the action's going. Shot goes wide. No shot clock reset. Slide comes. And Jacob able to make that stop. That ball was just hanging on that goal line there. Jacob Musa able to pick up just enough of that ball. Gets it over to J.D. Pierce. Sends the bounce pass over there to Johnston. A little bit of a mishandle into Southlake territory. The Dragons come. Ball is down. Southlake to recover with 65 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Southlake having trouble getting into their set here. Good defense by the Highland Park Scots. Shot is taken. Back check by J.D. Pierce. That's going to be out of bounds on Southlake. Highland Park ball. Jackson Harris, 14 down there for Highland Park Scots, doing a really nice job. Scots get back just in time. And Southlake is back in business. So some of the same things we saw from last night's game in the clearing game have reared their head again here for the Highland Park Scots. They're doing a really nice job on defense getting the ball, but having issues successfully clearing. The B team or the blue team is playing following this, and so as the camera pans around into the bottom corner, you may see some of Coach Pressler and Ledman and Garrett Dunn and that staff watching the game. They are down in attendance, taking note of the future Highland Park Scots. And that's going to be a trip with possession on the Highland Park Scots. Let's see what the referee has for us here. "30-second technical, tripping." Good stop there by Jacob Musa. Nice step down there by the Southlake Dragons. Jacob saw that all the way on the bounce shot. And we're still man down here, so this is not an easy clear, especially for a team that hasn't cleared it well. We need to make sure we have enough people back. And the Scotties just unable to clear it. Again, you've got to clear that within 20 seconds. So you can always keep an eye on the shot clock. And when the shot clock gets to 60, if the ball has not crossed midfield, then you know that that's going to be a failure to clear. And the ball will be rewarded to the defense. Scott's still man down. Officially released here. Here comes Parker Visa out of the box. So we are now 6-on-6. Your two shorties are Addison and Arvizo. J.D. Pierce out, extending pressure, 30 yards from the goal. Ball is down. That was a great defensive stand there by Jackson Harris, who was able to force his man there 30 yards away from the goal and then was able to create that loose ball and ground ball, cause turnover. So great job there by Jackson Harris. We talked a little bit about that 10-man ride, and you saw it there. I believe that was Parker Vizo who took a shot, tried to beat the goalie, who was 15 yards out of his net, but just unable to squeak it past him. So Scotties find themselves in a usual spot here over the last 6 or 7 minutes, back on defense. They've held their shape well. They've slid well. Let's see if that continues. Alley dodge, slide coming into the middle. Stopped there by Jacob Musa. And they got a flag down. Looks like that's going to be on Mason Carbajal. He goes running off, handing his long pole to not sure who, to Lawson Addison. That's who he gave his long pole to. So Lawson Addison here has got the long pole, 44. He's usually a short stick defensive midi. But in this man down situation, he'll have the long pole. And we appear to have 2 men in the box. I didn't see what the second call was, but we are certainly playing 6-on-4. Southlake does not appear to be in a big rush. Working it in. The skip pass comes. Lefty tackling back up to the top. Big shot. Jacob Musa eats up that all day long. No problem there. So again, 6-on-4. And Highland Park to clear. Coates comes right into the middle. He's going to have to use his speed, and he does. Highland Park successfully clears it. Gets it down to Beckett Farrell for a much needed offensive possession. We've got a flag down and a timeout called by Highland Park. So we have an offsides on Southlake. So they've got too many men on the field. When we come back out, we will be man up. I'm not sure if Coach Park saw that flag come up or not. Typically, you would, when that flag comes up, it's a free play there. Typically, he'd let them roam. We are one man down. I believe one was released. So he may have been wanting to set that up to hold onto the ball. So again, a teaching moment. I'm not sure how many of the boys have been released from the box yet on our side. So we may be 5-on-4. We may be 5-on-5. If everybody's released, we'll be 6-on-5. So somewhere between 4 and 6 players will be on the field for the Highland Park Scots. We'll have to find out when we come on out. And we will be back here as soon as the action continues. Scotties are back in action here. We've got 4 men, so we are playing 4 on 6. So I'm not sure why. Now I count 6, so now we are 5 on 6. So one of them was just released, and now here comes another one out of the box. So we are now 6 on 6. So they threw a flag, but they must have picked it up because Southlake still has 6 defenders. Oh, what a great pass there by Blake Sontag. Right in there to the Highland Park Scots. That was 21, Max Vogues getting loose on the inside with a well-timed cut, and Blake put it right on the nose for him on a really nice pass and a great finish there by Max. So after all of that work for the Dragons, 6 to 7 minutes on offense and them getting a goal, in come Highland Park and get the equalizer, and we're back up by 7. Scotty's back on defense here. Mason Carbajal released from the penalty box. Southlake slow to get their offensive personnel in. 55 seconds left to go here in the shot clock, and they're just now getting their personnel in. So 25 seconds there. Oh, good slide there by the Highland Park Scots. And here's Parker moving it down. And Stafford Thomason, 36, with an absolute brilliant slide there, causing that turnover. Benjamin Coates giving chase and turning. Ball goes into the air. And that's going to be it for the third quarter. So your Highland Park Scots are up 10-3, and we'll be back when the action returns.
In the third quarter, your score is Highland Park 10, Southlake 3. We again like to thank our Champions Club families, the Smetko family, the Sherman family, the Marshall family, the Skillens family, the Walsh family, the Wynn family, the Musa family, the Blevins family, the Starr family, the Bolan family, the Sweetland family, the Clark family, the Schultz family, the Hyman family, the Gray family, the Myers family, the Brantley family, the Root family, the Shuey family, the Witt family, the James Thomason family, the Grossi family, the Hicks family, the Matthew Fritz family, the Tom Harris family, the Leshevsky family, the Stuart Brown family, the Coleman Brown family, and the Easley family. Fourth quarter, the Highland Park number 37, Colton Brindle, and for Southlake number 6, Sarah Purdue.
Scotty's back in action here for the start of the fourth quarter, up 10-3, 12 minutes to go. And Colton Brindle with the face-off win, picked up by Lawson Addison, bringing it into the midfield. Benjamin Coates thought about it, thought he may go quick offense there, decides against it. Henry Leinart's in, over to Warner Benz. Anthony Dewhurst coming in out of the box. And that's Beckett Farrell coming around X like we've become so accustomed to seeing. Beckett has really grown this year. You can see his confidence really starting to develop, both going right and going left. He's going to be a dangerous player here for the Scots in the future. I believe he was one of the Scots that was down at spring break. So he was one of the boys that got a little bit of taste of the varsity down there and played in a couple of games. I got a full week's worth of work there. Face-off win again. Parker Vizo had it for a moment, and Mason Carbajal, as he does so many times, comes up with the ground ball. Ball is still loose. Warner Benz finally able to pick up that trash. Mac Mason, 25, was in on that. A whole slew of HP Scots involved in that ground ball. Warner Benz working the left side. Big bounce shot, and that's going to go. 12-3. Scotty's well in command of this game. Beginning to lean on the Southlake Dragons and imposing their will upon them. Doing a good job attacking them from both behind the goal there with Beckett and in front of the goal there with their middies and with Warner. You've always got Benjamin Coates there, a good crease attackman with excellent speed. Scotty's come up with a loose ball after what looked like they were going to lose that possession on the face-off. Good find. Lawson Addison with the shot. Mac Mason found an open teammate there with a nice pass, centering pass into the middle. Scotty's able to get back on defense and shut down the fast break attempt. Southlake again appears to not be in a big rush. 56 seconds on the clock, and they're just now getting into their sets. So they are happy to, Highland Park is happy to let Southlake run 25 to 30 seconds off before they even get into their offensive set. And again, they're down to 30 seconds here. 50 seconds have come off the clock, and they are still looking to get into their unit. Pass broken up there. We have a shot clock reset, and we shouldn't have had a reset, so we'll have to see what the referees do here. They may be keeping the time on the clock. It doesn't matter. They're going to hold, and now they'll reset it. So it should be resetted to an 82nd here. So Scotty's forced the ground ball, but they call a hold. That's when you pin the stick down to the ground of your opponent and don't release it in a timely fashion. Anthony Dewhurst laying the wood. Southlake Dragon slow to get up, but he is up. Good to see. That's the second game here at Highlander that Anthony has used his body to impose his will on the defensive side. The other night, it was a Rockwall player getting the short end of the stick on a failed clear attempt. And this time it is a shorty trying to dodge from the top. So great sign there for Anthony. Anthony's a big kid, up to 6'3", maybe 6'4". Got to be coming close to 200 pounds here pretty soon. He's got a big shot, so great to see him doing work on the defensive end. Shot goes beneath the Moose, and Southlake able to get one back, 12-4 with 8 minutes to go. So a costly hold penalty there. The Scots were off and running. Hold penalty cost them that offensive opportunity and ultimately led to a Southlake goal.
Number 13, setting offense, number 6.
Scotty's with the shot. Scotty's on the fast break and stopped by the Moose. So 1-0 right on the goalie. Jacob Musa does a great job matching sticks with the offensive player and able just to get the top of his stick on the ball and deflect it over the goal. Good job by the Moose. J.D. Pierce, 10. We're going to have to see if they call something here. They actually called the Southlake player for a hold that time. There, when he fell and the ball was loose, he kind of chicken-winged JD's stick there, which not allowed to do. Got caught, and the Scotty's ball. For those of you watching at home, we'd love for you to stick around. There'll be another broadcast tonight with the Highland Park Varsity Blue taking on the Dragons. It's typically Cade Hamner and Heckma on the call. Cade is caught on a delayed flight this evening, so I'll be filling in for Cade. That broadcast starts about 7:15. For those of you watching in Dallas, we'd love for you to hop on in and come watch the blue team play next. It's a beautiful night here at Highlander. Good ground ball by who else? Mason Carbajal. His ability to scoop ground balls and get to them is really becoming a huge benefit for the Highland Park Scots, and I can promise you it does not go unnoticed there by the varsity staff, who continues to keep an eye on these young boys. Scotty's working it around here patiently, looking to take some time off the clock. And really good shake by Blake. Gets his hands free going left. Beckett Farrell getting to 5-5 out on the island. So that's about as textbook as you can do. As you're dodging from X, coaches will always teach you to go 5-5. That's 5 yards up from the goal and 5 yards out. That kind of puts you at the crosshairs there of the 15-yard line and the hash mark. And that's exactly where Beckett was able to get to there. It gives you a nice 45-degree angle to get to the goal, which allows you to go both near side and far side. Creates a wider angle there for the goalie to have to defend. And Beckett able to deftly smoke one past him. Scott's on defense. Down into the middle. Good anticipation by Jacob Musa. Was able to anticipate and react to that point-blank shot. And that's a couple of really nice saves here by Jacob Musa on the last two trips down, stonewalling the Highland Park Scots. Jacob, an excellent freshman goalie. I know we talked a lot. And there's who else? Mason Carbajal creating a turnover and picking up the ground ball. And Mason did a really good job there of just not forcing it. He was moving it upfield. It wasn't there. Turn, roll back, use your goalie. And then Highland Park Scots just calmly work the ball around and work up their clear. So a lot of those issues that we saw last night and that kind of raised their head in the third quarter, it looks like Coach Parks and Coach Reese have addressed those. here going into the fourth quarter because the clears have been much better. The boys have been much more relaxed and trusting their sets than their teammates. It's a good look inside there by Blake, just unable to keep that down or complete that. Here comes the wheel. Southlake takes a shot but doesn't have any backup. Musa with the win. And off they go. Scotties with 3 minutes left to go in the quarter. Look to have this game well in hand at 13-4. Lawson Addison using his legs. Able to get that through. That's going to be in the crease for the Highland Park Scots. Mac Mason, number 25 there, unable to hit the brakes in time before he got in the crease. Beckett Farrell gets away with perhaps an offsides. He had a toe over the line there. Feed into the middle. That should be a pass. And Highland Park ball. Long bounce pass up to JD, unable to corral it. Southlake able to pick it up. And 2 minutes to go in the game. Looks like both teams are content to let this one go out. And just as I say that, there is Parker causing a really good turnover up to Benjamin Coates, who works it in. 3 on 5, decides to pull it out, doesn't like those numbers. And the Scotties end up throwing it away with an unforced error. So a bit of a sloppy end here to the game for both teams. Into the front field they go. Scotties matching up. Scots in their typical man-to-man, but not a real press-out man. They're giving a lot of space. Dodge was able to get inside, and that's going to be a shot and a goal there for the Dragons. So Mason Livingston there able to work himself free into the middle. Put a left-handed shot down in the bottom left-hand corner. Again, Jacob Musa is a right-handed goalie, so as you're shooting on the bottom left corner of the goal, he's got to sweep all the way across there. Very difficult save, especially from 6 to 7 yards out, 10 yards out maybe, where he shot that one. So Scotty's up 13-5 with 50 seconds to go. And that should just about do it. That was an unforced error there. Thrown away. Assuming the Scots can clear it successfully, which they now have. And we're offside, so spoke a little too soon. There's a yard sale by J.D. Pierce, throwing it into the middle. Ground ball picked up by Colton Brendel, who sends it over to Beckett Farrell, who backs it out, and that's going to be it. So your Highland Park Scots victorious on game 3 of 4 today. They play Plano East tomorrow, so we will be broadcasting that. Please come out and join us. That game is at Highlander. And for those of you that can't make it, we will be broadcasting right here on Game On Sports. So, again, please join us for tonight's game at 7:30 against Southlake, and then tomorrow at 7 o'clock against Plano East right here on Game On Sports. Until then, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a safe night. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Southlake players and local families for driving to Highlander play today. We wish you well in your 2026 season and safe trip home. Thank you, South fans.